You took her virginity and you left her flat. Why?
We never even had a relationship anyway. She knew that.
I was a virgin, Danny. And you were the first guy I ever went with.
Just because he was your first doesn't mean there can't be a second.
You knew full well what you were doing. You were both intoxicated. You both went for it. Why was he such a bad guy?
Virginity is priceless. You only have it once.
Next, Ricki Lake. Hi, and welcome. My guests today are furious and have steam pouring out of their ears. Why? Because they say something was taken away from them and they can never get it back. They're talking about their virginity, and today, for the very first time, they will confront the men who they say stole their virginity, and days later said farewell. This will definitely be an hour filled with emotions, as my guests are here to say, you took my virginity and then took off. Explain yourself. Today, women are confronting the men who they say robbed them of their virginity and then left without an explanation. Meet Vanessa. Vanessa says when she was 14, she was so in love with Frank that she gave him her virginity. She thought Frank would be the man that she would be with for the rest of her life, but she was wrong, because after that one night of loving, Frank dumped her and never returned her calls. Frank is here, and we'll hear from him in just a moment. Also joining us is Vanessa's husband, Mike, who says Frank is smooth with the ladies and nothing but a creep. Thanks, guys. Vanessa, tell us about your first.
Okay, well, we dated for about 4 months, and one spring break, he got his keys to his uncle's houseboat, and he asked me to come with him. So we went, and we got drunk, and he took my virginity, and about a week later,
He took it, or you gave it to him?
Oh, well, I gave it.
Okay, you gave it willingly?
Willingly, yes. And he called me about a week later, and he broke up with me, and he never gave me a reason.
He never gave you a reason, and you feel the reason was he got what he wanted then,
and then he left, yeah.
And then he left. Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel, Vanessa?
I was mad. I was angry.
And the fact that he never explained himself. You're here today because you want an explanation?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to say to Frank? It's been a long time.
I want to know why he took my virginity and he dumped me.
Are you ready to tell him just
Yes.
that? All right, let's bring Frank out of isolation, please. Frank, when you can hear me, come on out.
Oh, God.
Frank, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Do you know this woman sitting beside you?
Yes, I do.
Who is she to you?
One of my ex-girlfriends.
One of your ex-girlfriends. Well, you brought him all this way to say what?
I want to know why you took my virginity and you dumped me a week later.
If you remember, Craig, your boyfriend was, well, the guy you were cheating on me with was
No,
Colin.
that was a lie. That was a lie. I did not cheat on you with nobody. That was a big rumor. That was a lie. No, it ain't true. Nope.
So wait, your answer is that you thought she was cheating on you, and so you
Plus, she
broke
was
up with
spending
her?
more time with him than she was me.
No, I was not.
Yeah, you were.
Mm-mm.
Could it be that you got what you wanted, you got
No.
That's what I
the
thought.
action, and then didn't need her anymore?
No.
All right. Vanessa, do you still care about Frank?
Yes.
You do?
Don't even know.
But yet you're married to Mike.
Yes.
Where does Mike fit in with all this?
I love my husband very much. But I still have feelings for Frank, and I will always love him because he is my first love.
So does that mean you want Frank back?
If things didn't work out with me and my husband, yes.
Yes.
First of all,
I would like to know, at 14 years old, what are you doing thinking about sex anyway at 14 years old? And let alone having 2 boyfriends, and your husband is sitting right next to you. What type of love do you have for him?
I love my husband very much.
Yes.
I want to know what your husband feels about. How do you feel about the situation?
Well, I think Frank's a loser. I think he should have never dumped her in the first damn place. I think he had his chance. His chance is over with. She should be with me. That's all there is to it.
But Mike, she says that she still wants Frank back. I mean, how does that make you feel?
That makes me feel, hey, I feel like she should be with me. I don't feel like she should be with Frank, because Frank ain't gonna do nothing but dump her again.
Yes.
I wanted to know, how old are you, sir?
How old is which, sir?
Her husband.
Mike, you are?
32.
32.
What, 16 you are?
No. She's 19 years old.
All right, but what are you doing? She could be your father.
I love
Oh,
it.
wait, let me do the math for a second. Maybe.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I can understand you still loving him and everything else, but how can you sit there next to your husband and admit
And dog him out like that.
you're pretty much telling your husband, listen, I don't love you, I'd rather be with him. That's not right.
Let's ask Frank how he feels. Frank, how do you feel about this? You've come between these two.
Hey, it ain't my fault.
Yes.
I would like to know, Frank, do you want her? And then that's the first part. My brother, you know you need to wake up, okay? She just said on national television that she loving another man. You going back home with her?
If she'll come with me.
But why are you settling? I don't understand. Is it that good?
Obviously, nobody in here has ever been in love.
Mike, do you have anything you want to say to Frank?
Huh?
Do you have anything you want to say to Frank?
No, I think he already had his chance, and I think he should concede it to me now. He had his chance with her. He dumped her. You know?
Vanessa?
I mean, he got her virginity. He got something from her that no other person could ever get from her.
Frank,
I got
do
something
you
to say,
want
Ricki.
Vanessa back?
Well, Ricki, there's something I want to say. When me and her were even dating, she even told me she went over to that guy's house, was dancing with him, stripped down naked, was laying on the bed.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you did.
So Frank, answer my question. Do you want Vanessa back?
Right at the moment, no. I'm kind of seeing somebody right now.
Kind of.
And I'm
Kind of
happy-
seeing somebody
I'm
right
happy
now.
one way.
What's kind of mean? Yes.
I want to ask Vanessa, how long have you been married?
3 years.
And was your wedding ring?
Huh?
Was your wedding ring?
I don't wear it.
Oh, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Do you have children together?
No.
No.
You don't? Okay. Coming up later, a woman will confront the man who took her virginity and then took off and got her best friend pregnant. But coming up next, find out what happens when this woman confronts the man who took her virginity 4 weeks ago and then took off. You don't want to miss this. We'll be back with more.
And then it started snowing, and it was so pretty, and I gave him to you. I was a virgin, Danny.
We are back. Many people believe that saving your virginity for your husband is the right thing to do. But what happens if you just can't wait for that special wedding night? Well, that's what happened to my next guest, Lucinda. Lucinda says that she was taught to save her virginity until she got married. But guess what? She met a guy named Paul and became so infatuated with him that she gave in with him and slept with him just 1 month ago. Tell us what happened, Lucinda.
Basically, we just, we had been talking off and on for like a year or two, and I don't know, we were never boyfriend and girlfriend, but I just decided, I made the decision to sleep with him, but I mean, at the same time, he knew I was a virgin, and he knew,
So what happened after you did sleep with him?
he didn't talk to me. I mean, we were like high-bi relationship, It wasn't like, you know, I didn't want to be with him, but, you know, I would like him to still, you know, at least acknowledge the fact that, you know, I do have feelings and, you know, that it did
So he
mean a
didn't
lot to
hold
me.
you after the fact?
Yeah, basically. He was just really cold about it.
And you're upset with him?
Yes.
All right. You are here to confront him today?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready to see him?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's bring him out. Paul, come on out. Paul, you took her virginity and you left her flat. Why?
Well, actually, we never even had a relationship anyway. She knew that we didn't have no relationship. We had no kind of relationship at all. We never even talked about having a relationship, ever. For the 2 years that I knew you, we never talked about having a relationship, did we?
This is true.
Right.
Didn't I just state that fact?
Right.
So, Lucinda, why are you angry with him? If you
Exactly.
knew
Why
what you
are
were
you mad at
getting,
me?
why, if you were willing to wait until you were married, why'd you give it up to a guy that was kind of a high-buy relationship?
I don't know.
See,
I made a bad decision, you know? And I
But
mean,
then why are you angry with him? You're here to confront him for leaving you in the lurch after you slept with him, but you're the one who knew exactly full well what you were getting yourself into.
I'm not the bad guy here. He's the one that, you know, he
How am I the bad guy?
He knew what was going on. He knew, you know, all the circumstances and everything like that. And, I mean, I'm not blaming that on him. You know, it was a 50-50 kind of thing. I told him, you know, man, you know.
For one thing, I didn't even know you were a virgin anyway.
Wait, you didn't know you didn't know that she was a virgin?
I didn't know until after. I didn't know until after.
You knew.
I didn't know until... Man, we never had no kind of relationship at all. We never talked about being boyfriend, girlfriend, ever.
This is true.
Ever. So why are you mad at me?
Man, because you had no right. You knew it was wrong.
And when things happened that night anyway, if I wouldn't have been in the right state of mind, if I'd have been in my right state of mind, it wouldn't happen anyway.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. What state of mind were you in?
There was some intoxication involved.
Get over.
Yes.
Lucinda's aunt from Connecticut.
You know
What's
Lucinda.
up, Aunt Kathy?
So what do you have to say for the two of them?
I'm trying to figure out, what's she seeing him?
You let me know. Maybe I need to come to the city and find a real man, you know? I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know. In Washington, in Seattle, Washington, there's a shortage of men. Where I live, you know, they're either dogs taken or just, you know,
But
got
I don't
some kind of
understand
disease.
what Paul did
They got a
wrong.
disease.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand what I did wrong.
I don't. You're the one. I'm sorry to come down on you, Lucinda, but you knew he didn't want a relationship. You've been friends with him for a couple of years now. You knew full well what you were doing. You were both intoxicated. You both went for it. Why was he such a bad guy?
We were, okay, yeah, I'll say, you know, we were intoxicated or whatever. Regardless if you're intoxicated or not, you know what the hell's going on, regardless, okay?
So then if you didn't want to sleep with him, if you wanted a relationship,
you know,
But you use better judgment.
Hold on.
You use better
No,
judgment.
You use better judgment. You know I was a virgin before you. You know?
I did
yes,
not
you
know
did.
that.
Yes,
I
you
didn't know
did.
that. I didn't
Yes,
know
you
that.
did. I told you I was a virgin. I was like, no, Paul, whoop, 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 you know?
So do you regret sleeping with him?
I mean, I have no feelings about it, you know? I don't say that.
Well, I regret it. I regret it.
You do.
I do. Because of all this, now we're sitting here on the Ricki Lake show. Everybody's seeing our business and all this. So yeah, I do regret
Point
it.
being,
But still, I ain't mad at you though.
clowning.
I'm not mad at you though.
I'm gonna let it be known, you know. All the females that he messes with, you know, I'm so much better than any female that he ever messed with, okay? Yeah, them Kmart Express hoes that you be messing with, you know, chick jean wearing, you know, man, them broads are just ugly, you know, man. Maybe I should have done better, you know.
So Lucinda, it seems to me the thing that you're upset
I'm angry at myself. I'm not angry at you. I blame myself, you know, because I should have been wiser about it, you know.
Yeah.
You got me pumped.
So I shouldn't even be up here then.
Man, you should.
I shouldn't even be up here.
Yeah,
then.
neither should I, because you're an ass now, punk.
See, now that's uncalled for. I'm not going to get down to that level.
No,
That's
it's
uncalled
not.
for.
Yes,
Listen,
we
it seems to me what you're upset about, you're not upset about losing your virginity to him. You're upset because you don't have a relationship with him.
No, I told him, you know, I made it clear to the producers and everything else. I said, you know, I went into it knowing that there wasn't going to be a relationship and everything else. You know, I did it anyways. You know, I mean, it was a 50-50 thing. Like I said, you know, it was my choice, and at the same time, it was his choice. He knew that I was a virgin, you know. Whatever nonsense that he's saying right here, he knew that I was a virgin, you know, and everything else. Man, I don't know, you know, yeah. I'm angry about it. I'm really hot about it, you know. I'm extremely hot.
You will move on and be able to get over
most
this.
definitely.
Okay. Coming up next, a woman who lost her virginity to the man she thought was her soulmate. But he left her, and it almost cost her her life. She says she's changed a lot, and he's going to be shocked when she confronts him. That's coming up next. virginity to men who they thought they'd be with forever, but forever turned into one night and one night only. Please meet Carol. She says that she gave her virginity to Danny and it almost cost her her life. We'll meet Danny in just a moment. What happened?
Well, I was at a trucking company and looking for a job when I was 16, and I was still a virgin. And this beautiful man, just handsome, walked in and for a couple of minutes, and I saw him, and he was really nice looking, and he left. And when I got out,
and he was really nice looking.
Yes, really nice looking. He has these blue eyes you wouldn't believe. And then I got out to my car, and there was a note on my steering wheel, and it was from him. And he said he wanted to meet me. And I went and I met him, and we started dating, and we went out for a while. And
you were in love with him?
Yes.
And one night in particular, I know it was a snowy night.
We had broke up, and he called me and said he had something to tell me. And so I went, and he asked me to marry him.
He told you that he loved you?
Yes, he told me he loved me and that he wanted to marry me and that he realized he'd made a mistake and that he wanted to be with me.
And that night was the night it happened?
Yes, that day.
That day?
Yes.
And now, I mean, how did it ruin your life?
I was a virgin, and that meant something to me. I was nearly 19, and I wanted to be with the man that I was going to be with the rest of my life.
And when he left you, after, I understand he denied it to your best friend.
He denied it to my whole family and
he
my
said that
best
it never
friend.
happened.
And,
so what did that do to you?
Destroyed me.
To the point where you almost committed suicide?
Yes. And I was in a mental hospital for 2 months. And I don't think he knows. But
he didn't know what it meant to you?
No.
So what?
It's priceless. You can't pay it back once you take it. You can't give it back.
But are you making a little bit more of it than it really is? I mean, I think, no?
Virginity is priceless. You only have it once, and you can't get it back once it's gone.
Carol, I know it's been how many years since that snowy afternoon?
Since 1981.
1981. Mm-hmm. You say that he's going to be surprised to see you. Why?
I have not seen him since he chased me down and I told him to leave me alone.
Are you ready to see him today? All right, let's bring him out here. Danny, when you can hear me, come on out. Hi, Danny. Thanks for being here.
Do you know what you did to me? Do you really know what you did to me?
Do you know who this woman is sitting next to you?
Yeah.
You do?
Sure.
Okay.
You remember the night you had me go over, the day you had me go over when you told your dad that you were going deer hunting. And you went to the cabin. And you had it set up so beautiful. It was so romantic. And then you asked me to marry you. You said that you were so sorry for what you had done, breaking up with me and bouncing me back and forth. And then it started snowing, and it was so pretty, and I gave in to you. I was a virgin, Danny. A virgin. You were the first guy I ever went with, and then you left with, and you didn't even tell me. And my cousins, you denied it to them, you denied it to my whole family, and tried to beat me up because she thought I was a liar. I went in the hospital, Danny. Look at my arms.
Danny, did you realize any of this?
Yes, but it was so long back, I don't realize.
You didn't realize what
yeah.
your actions
No, I was
did
probably
to her.
only 18 at the time.
So do you have anything you would like to say to Carol?
But I'm sorry. You know, I really am.
That's a lot.
It means a lot to you?
Yes.
I mean, does it close the wound a little bit, knowing that he does regret doing what he did?
Yeah.
I mean, how has your life been? Because this has really devastated her over the years. I know, you've been married, happily married for a number of
Yes,
years?
I haven't seen her in years, and I didn't realize at the time that's what the case was.
So you are very sorry for what you did? All right, well, that's great that he's a man and can apologize. Yes?
Hello, Ricki. I think you're not a man because if you were...
Wait, he just apologized. So you're talking about when he was 18 years old. When he was 18 years old, he wasn't a man.
Virginity is supposed to be for two people. It's special anyway. So I think he doesn't say I'm sorry, so he doesn't care about her. So
Wait, he did say he's sorry, and...
I don't believe it. He's full of it.
All right. Yes, sir. Come on over here.
No, I believe it.
Yes.
I think that it's more than virginity, but I feel that there's been a lot of abandonment, you know, one taking advantage of the other and then abandoning them with their feelings. And, you know, virginity is important, but also sex should be taken very seriously, not lightly, because people do have feelings, and they're giving their vulnerability at that very moment, and they're being taken advantage of.
All right. Thanks, sir. Let me say, this is the perfect example that both men and women see sex very differently. Yes, you are his wife of 13 years.
And I want to tell you that he's not that type of person. He would never do anything like that to anybody.
He admitted that he did it to her.
I'm talking about, I'm not talking about he wouldn't, I'm talking about willingly. He wouldn't willingly ever hurt anybody. He is a nice, kind, considerate person. Just like you said when you first come out, that's the type of person he is.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody in the audience thinks. That's the truth.
Yeah, he is
Okay.
nice.
Thank you.
He is nice.
Yes.
I want to know if he did love her in the first place.
Danny, she would like to know if you did love Carol at one time.
At the time, yes.
You did. Well, I think you are a man coming on television and apologizing to her. You made her feel better, and I thank you for that. Need to take a break. Coming up next, this woman will confront the man who took her virginity and then took off and got her best friend pregnant. We'll meet them next. Don't go away.
Tiny, I need you in my life. Things have come and gone.
Is your son currently in a relationship but you hate his girlfriend? Do you want to tell him that you like his baby's mother better than his current girl? If so, you could be a guest. Call 1-800-GO-RICKY. You must be 18 or older to call.
Virginity is an experience that no woman could ever forget. But my next guest, Kathy, says that losing her virginity was so traumatic that she would like to forget about it and move on. But she can't, because she never got to confront Ricki, the man who stole it from her. We'll meet Ricki in just a moment. This has been devastating for you. Tell us.
For a long time.
What happened?
I went with him like for 2 years. I was 15, and then 2 years, and then finally I gave in to him and slept with him for the first time. And then it was like, well, I'm through with you, you know.
What did he do the night that you slept with him?
Oh, he loved me then. He told me he loved me all the time, you know.
He told you he wanted to marry you?
Yeah.
And then the minute you gave him what he wanted, he was out the door?
Yeah, he was gone. I mean, he didn't have
and he was
nothing else to
gone, and
say.
he went somewhere in particular?
To my best friend, and got her pregnant and married her. And they stayed married about less than a month.
So for the record, he is no longer married to her?
No, he's not married to her.
I mean, but no offense, but this has been a long time. 15 years old, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So why are you not over this?
Because I still have feelings for him in my heart. I still love him.
So you want your first back?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Are you ready to confront him today and say
I'm
what you got to
ready.
say? All right, let's meet Ricki. Ricki, come on out.
You gonna hug my neck or what?
How you doing?
Hi, Ricki.
That's it.
Thank you for being here. You know this woman sitting beside you.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is she to you?
Kathy.
Kathy. Kathy brought you all this way because she wants to say something to you. Kathy?
Yeah, I brought you here to ask you why you done me the way you did back when you got my virginity. You just, one of them men that walk around with your nose up in there. And then went to my best friend. Why?
Young, wild.
Young, wild.
Just
You-
young.
Do you feel badly?
No.
You don't? Because she feels badly. I mean, this has tormented her over the years because she really cared about you and she waited 2
Yeah, she really
years.
cared a lot.
And then the moment you got what you wanted, you were out the door and over knocking on her best friend's door.
True.
So for that, you don't feel bad?
I guess so. I feel pretty bad about it.
Have you thought about Kathy over the years?
Yeah, I see her on the road every once in a while.
You do? Kathy, do you have anything else you want to say to Ricki?
I haven't talked with her in years.
You haven't talked with her in many, many years?
Long time.
And are you available these days, Ricki?
Occasionally.
Occasionally? What the hell does that mean? Yes.
Why would you want him back? You haven't seen him in years. You don't know what he's been
I
up
still
to.
love him, though.
You still love him?
Yeah, I still love
Does he
him.
still love you?
Ricki, don't say occasionally. Do you still love her?
I always have a place for her, yeah. She's a good...
So, are you two going to wind up getting back together and making up for lost time?
I don't know. I guess we can talk. When we're here, I guess we'll talk about it. Talk about
Just
the
because
past.
he was your first doesn't mean there can't be a second.
Oh, I know that.
Come on over here.
Well, I want to ask the guy if it was, is it that the fact that she slept with you right away?
She didn't sleep with him right away. She knew him for 2 years.
Oh, okay. What is it that you got it and that's what it made you lose interest in her? Like, why did you lose interest for her? I want to know why.
I was just wild, and after all the ladies, you know.
You have settled down, though, Ricki, huh?
Really, the last 3 years. True.
Last 3 years. What happened over the last 3 years?
I like to live here. I have wrecked the car.
You had a bad car accident, and now that's turned your life around in many ways.
Sure did.
You slowed down. Well, that's good to hear. Yes, ma'am.
He said that he's available occasionally. What makes you think he's any different than he was 15 years ago?
I don't know that he is.
I mean, really.
That's what I'm here to find out.
And another thing is, are you paying child support for that child with the other woman right now?
A little bit off topic, but are you supporting the 17-year-old?
No, I don't have no custody. She's adopted.
The point that he was a dog back then, he's still a dog.
All right. Up next, this young man has no idea why he's here. He is here because just 1 month ago, he was robbed of his virginity, and the woman who took it from him is here, and she has something to say. Find out what she wants to tell him when we return. Joining us today, we've been talking to women who feel robbed of their virginity. They say men tricked them into believing that they really cared about them, and once they gave in, the men took off. But this next story is a little bit different. Please meet Tammy. She says that she met Jeremy 1 month ago and took his virginity, knowing full well that she was never going to see him again. Jeremy has no idea why he is here, and we'll hear from him a little bit later. Tell us what happened.
Well, we were all at the bowling center where, where I usually hang out at. And my friend Mike had brought him there, and I saw Mike, and I went up, gave him a hug and everything. Well, he introduced me to Jeremy. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Well, we went down on the lane, and we were bowling. And me and Mike would goof around. We'd dance with each other back and forth and everything. And I'd straddle over his lane, well, he'd straddle over my lane. And he goes, well, go do that for Jeremy. So I went and straddled over Jeremy's lane. Jeremy didn't know what to do. I mean, he just, looked bright red, like he was so embarrassed.
So you had just met Jeremy?
Yeah, I just met him, And, so Mike goes, well, have him do it for you, have him do it for you. I was like, all right, cool. So I went over and said, go do it for my lane.
Mike was trying to make things happen for the two of you?
Kind of. Mike is just like that, though. Mike's cool.
All right, I know Mike is in the audience.
Yeah.
We'll get to him a little bit later. Now, Mike told you that Jeremy liked you.
Yeah, okay. As it progressed and everything, I had Mike stand over my lane. So I bowled, and when I bowled, I grabbed him. I mean, the look on his face was like, you know, like, okay. And then I was like, you know, back and forth, and...
Get to the good part. The good part is that you found out that Jeremy was a virgin.
Yeah, he told me he was a virgin. And I was like, okay, you know, cool, whatever. So we started talking. He goes, well, I could take you home and this and that. And, you know, well, he has his own place. And so I was like, he goes, well, you can go out spend the night with them and I'll pick you up.
Bottom line is, you wound up at his apartment.
Yeah.
You wound up taking his virginity that night. And you never called him and never did it. You left at 2 in the morning. And that was...
I left at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You left...
After it was over and done with, we went to sleep. And then he showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning and we left. And he told me, oh, I only know Jeremy for about 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, God.
So you feel really bad because...
Because he should, I mean, if I wouldn't have done it, if I would have used my head and thought about it, he could have saved it for someone that was special to him and he left for a special night, you know. But now it's over and done with. It ain't there no more, you know. So.
It's something he can never get back. So you're here to apologize to him.
Yeah.
He has no idea that you're even here.
Nope.
Are you ready to tell him what you came here to say?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring him on out. Jeremy, when you can hear me, come on out.
Oh my God. I thought it might be you. Oh my God.
Jeremy, you knew that someone brought you all this way to apologize to you.
Yeah.
Hit it, Tammy.
I want to tell you I'm sorry because that night that I spent the night with you, I should have used my head and we shouldn't have done nothing because it could have been saved for the night that was special to you. But it's over and done with now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
How does that make you feel, Jeremy?
Better.
Better? Did you really feel bad afterwards?
Yeah, really.
Why? Jeremy, why'd you feel bad afterwards?
I don't know. I don't know, really.
You wanted the first time to be a little bit more, maybe? Mike, I got to get you involved. Mike, you created this. You forced this on them. What do you have to say?
I don't know. I didn't mean for anything to happen. I just wanted to get together. Maybe something could happen, but I didn't expect for it to go like that that night.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No. He was telling me, he goes, yeah, by the end of the, you know, by the time I pick you up tomorrow morning, maybe this boy won't be a virgin, hopefully. So I was like, oh, okay. Yes, you did.
Yes. Come on over here. Come on. What do you think about the situation?
I'm wondering if he wants her back or if she wants him back, or if you want some more.
Good question.
We can still be friends and everything, but I have a fiance now, because once my boyfriend...
Boy, she works fast, doesn't she?
No. Okay, at the time that me and him, I spent the night at his house or whatever, at that time...
That was just a month ago.
No, at the time, I was seeing somebody, but I wasn't with them.
And now you're engaged.
When he found out I was coming here, he proposed to me the night before I left to make sure I was coming back.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
My question is, what promoted you to de-virginize him? Was it sort of a form of, you know, having a notch on your belt or something, or because your friend, you know, told you this, that you wanted to take his virginity?
No, I just, like I said, I should have used my head, but I didn't. It was just, I don't know. I don't know what made me do it. I just did it. That's why I came to apologize. I felt guilty afterwards.
Does it make you think twice about doing this kind of thing again?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and for the record, you are both of age.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Next up, this man has a very special surprise for the woman who took his virginity from him and then took off. You don't want to miss what he has to say. That's next. With Tiny, the prettiest girl on the block. And those games of house went a lot further than folding laundry and baking brownies. William, tell us about your relationship with Tiny.
Oh, God, Ricki, I tell you, it's...
It It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is, but it's something that you never forget because you're having your first and you're falling in love for the first time. You have someone accept you for who you are as kids growing up, making mud pies or whatever. But she was the first I lost my virginity to, and I want to do something special for her this time because now as years went by, as we were growing up, there was a bond there that I could never reach back and get anymore because of moving different locations. But now, that's something special.
You
That's in
really
my life
feel she might be your soul.
for so long. I mean, I've talked to so many people, psychics, whatever. They would say, my queen is coming. I am a Libra.
She's coming
My
on the
queen
Ricki
is
Lake
coming.
Show.
So I'm hoping it is, definitely. And I just, you know,
And William, you have never married.
never married. I've been through 4 engagements, but they never were successful because I was working so much and I've never spent time at home with the people that I'm just like, you know, accept me for who I am and not for what I've got, you know. Thus far, right now I'm dealing with some Darnell and Sharif associates in D.C. now. I'm working to get my license to rebuild that back up to where I want to be.
But forget about the license, you want Tiny.
I want Tiny to know I am trying to be a successful Afro-American man.
All right. Well, let's bring out Tiny. Tiny, when you can hear me, come on out, girl. Welcome, Tiny.
What's up, bro?
Oh my God! It's you that brought me here.
Yes, William brought you here, Tiny. Have a seat. Hi, nice to see you. So who is this guy to you?
Ex-friend.
Long time. I mean,
Long time ago.
I just, you know, I brought you here for a reason, Tiny, because
What's the reason?
when we grew up, I mean, you never took anything from me. If anything, you helped me and you gave me and you showed me by me being a little fat kid. Now look at me now. My self-esteem has gotten larger now, you know. So I just want to say, you know, when we first made it and you asked me was it my first, and I said, yeah, I lied. I'm sorry. You were my first.
Oh, stop lying.
And I lost my virginity. Yes. Yes. So I lost my virginity to you, so I just want...
You're lying. For real?
I lost my virginity to you, and I just wanted you to know I've been doing things in my life to be successful, and I want you to know that I accept you for who you are now, no matter what happened. 5 or 6 years that we have not seen each other, God knows I just didn't know that you were back. You know, you moved so much, but now...
Get to the point, William.
And there's... There it says that I want to say to all the brothers, everybody, all the brothers, that if you get a woman that you have missed in your life, be successful and see what she does, accept you for who you are, because Tiny, I need you in my life. Things have come and go. I just want to say is that you have been a phenomenal, successful woman. Among other women in here to be successful too. Would you marry me?
Tiny, are you available? Are you single? Are you involved with anyone?
Yes, I'm single.
But are you not ready for a commitment? I tell you what, you know, I mean, it's been a while. Like people have to get to know one another.
Absolutely, yeah. Before they tie the knot, that's a good plan.
But Ricki, all due respect, because I talked to a buddy of mine, Cool, and his wife, you know, back home. They say, well, take your time. But if not, if she's not ready, if any viewers looking or whoever, I am still single. And hey, call her. Call her.
Tiny, if I were you, I'd grab him right now.
No, what what he stated was we hadn't seen each other, in a while.
When you meant
and
a great deal to
I've been
him.
married twice already, okay? Well, I've been married once when I was 19, and I had a live-in boyfriend, common law, common husband type thing, and three children came out of that. I'm a single mom of 3, and for us to get married right now, I couldn't.
What about getting back together and going on a date?
We can go on a date, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back. Don't go away. I do hope that all of my guests today feel that they have resolved something by confronting the people who took their virginity and then took off. Losing your virginity is a big decision only you can make, and if you choose to lose it, make sure it's with someone who's special and who's willing to wait until you're ready. When you do decide that you and your partner are in fact ready, please make sure you're safe. Use a condom, right guys? Thank you for watching. See you next time. Promotional fees have been paid by the following.